Hi, I'm Alex of alexsmarthealth.org, and I wanted to talk today about something that's not been feeling super awesome for me, that's been feeling kind of icky, and I have to trust that if it's popping up for me, there's a good chance it pops up for you in your life. So, as you might know, I am all about self-care, taking really good care of ourselves and really showing up for ourselves in the way that makes us feel really good as women and as people. And it's something I've really been committed to for myself in the last year, and especially the last couple months. And what I've been discovering is that sometimes when after I've booked the massage or decided that I'm going to take a bath in the middle of the day, or I know I see all of you already going, some of you are going, oh my god, or deciding that I'm going to sleep in or spend the extra money on the food I really want to buy, these little nasty voices come up and say, well, should you really do that? And shouldn't you be spending your money on something better? And shouldn't you be making those phone calls? And shouldn't you be spending time with your friends? And shouldn't you be calling your mom? And shouldn't you be being more productive and getting up and getting your day on? And blah, blah, blah. They go on and on and on, right? There's so many things I should be doing, right? And I think a lot of us have these really huge to-do lists that feel like a lot of shoulds, and some of them are really, some of the things we have to do are really necessary, but there's a lot of outside voices telling us what to do, right? I get all kinds of health emails and marketing emails in my inbox every day that tell me how I should be eating and how I should be marketing and how I should be running my business, and it's really, I've learned to unsubscribe from a lot of those because it puts me in a bad mind space, and it puts me into this other person's version of what's good for me and what's good for my business and what's good for my body rather than my own. Right? And so some of that information is useful, and that it's a lot of the things that I use to feed what works for me. But I think we really need to get back to trusting that we know what we need in the moment. So I wanted to frame this around the issue of self-care and self-love versus selfishness. Right? So I feel like a lot of those shoulds and a lot of that guilt that comes up around wanting to take really good care of yourself and making that commitment, a lot of what comes up is this feeling that well, isn't this selfish to be doing that and spending this money and putting all this time into me. But I wanna talk a little bit about what I think self-care is really about, so that we can separate these two, and so that we can see they're not at all part of the same thing. So to me, self-care is this things we do that fill our cup, right? That give us energy, that, nourish us, that give us, make us feel strong, that allow us to show up with motivation and energy into our full potential and to be there with the people we want to be with. And do what we want to do with our lives and enjoy it, right? That's what self-care is about. And I really feel like self-care stems from the practice of self-love. And self-love is really about knowing on a deep level that you're worth it and that you deserve it and that you need it, and honoring and respecting those needs and the boundaries you need to set and the things you want to do and the things you need to do to feel the way you want to feel so that you can show up in your world. That's what that's about. That's what self-care is founded in for me. And selfishness, or that feeling of selfishness, I feel like when I think of what a selfish something is to me, it's when you do something with no regard to anyone else, right? It's just for indulgence or pleasure or satisfaction. It has nothing to do with this bigger vision of honoring yourself and showing up for all of the things and people in your life that you love and believe in. So I think they're really different things, and it's important to when you hear those voices that say, well, you're being a little selfish right now, taking all this time and money and energy for yourself, or that tell you, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, and shouldn't you be doing that, and you shouldn't be doing that, all that stuff. When you hear those voices, say, thank you very much. I hear you. I see where you're coming from, but that's not serving me, and I know that's not what I need and want right now for myself. And to feel into that, right? So when you make a decision, I don't want to say good decision. When you make a decision that's in alignment with what it is that you want and need for yourself, it will feel good and it will recharge you. And we don't get it perfect all the time, and that's totally okay. But it's important to be paying attention to those voices and to be honoring yourself with the way that you choose to spend your time and put your energy, and the way you choose not to. So, I would love to hear from you. Like, does this ring true for you? Do you feel that? Do you hear those should voices yappering on back there when you choose to do something good for yourself? And how do you deal with that? What are some of the strategies you use? And also, what are some of the, I want to keep hearing, like, what is it you're doing to take really good care of yourself? I've found that what works for me doesn't work for everyone, and so I'd love to know what it is that you do to take really radically awesome, good self-care, care of yourself. Yes, whatever it is. And to love yourself up and give yourself that foundation and jumping ground to go out and do what it is you want in the world. So let me know below. Write a comment. Send something in. And I hope that this has inspired you and grounded you in some way. That's my goal. So be well. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I will talk with you again soon.